Hey guys, Jonathan Soda here, back again doing another movie review, and today we will be reviewing Superman 2, the Richard Donner cut. Now, the Richard Donner cut of Superman 2 is Richard Donner's own version of the movie. Now, Richard Donner directed the first movie, and he directed a quarter of the second movie, but like he didn't direct all of it. He left the project, and Richard Lester ended up directing it. So Richard Lester did a good job making it, but Richard Donner, this movie it uses it uses some of Richard Lester's version of Superman 2, but most of it is Richard Donner's idea. Like most of it is like stuff he did before he left the project. So that's all in Superman 2, the Richard Donner cut. I'll put it down real quick. So yeah, Superman 2, the Richard Donner cut, is once again features like all the actors from the original Superman 2. So Superman 2, the Richard Donner cut has the same plot as the original Superman 2, and it's mostly the same thing, just with more scenes, and a lot of stuff is cut out from the original Superman 2. So yeah, Richard Donner cut's version of Superman 2 is amazing. It's, in my opinion, better than the theatrical Superman 2. And yeah, so with Superman 2, the Richard Donner cut, it's more darker than the original Superman 2. Like you literally feel like a whole much darker tone and a darker pace to it. So yeah, there are a lot of differences to the original Superman 2, such as when um, when how the Kryptonians get freed from the Phantom Zone is different. If you remember, in my original review, I said that they got freed from a bomb that was going to be in Paris, but in the Richard Donner cut, they got freed from a nuclear missile from the first movie that blew up the San Andreas Fault. So he grabs the he grabs the second missile that was gonna go to Hackensack, New Jersey, and he takes it to space, and then it blows up the Phantom Zone. So yeah, that's how I get freed, and um yeah, and it has more better quality to it too than the theatrical cut. So yeah, so let me think. Yeah, so also, in this version, the effects improve on the original theatrical cut much better, and the effects are amazing in Superman 2: The Richard Donner Cut. So yeah, that's a major improvement that the Richard Donner cut did, and also it doesn't have any of the weird powers like the original one, like ripping off the S on from his chest, and the telekinesis with the finger. None of that is in this one, which I am grateful for. So yeah, and yeah, the characters are still really cool, and Superman giving up his powers in this one, it is more darker too. Like in this one, his dad tells him to give up his powers. In the original theatrical cut, his mom tells him to. His dad tells him to, and you literally feel like their whole conversation and all that. So yeah, and also and also what I like about in the Richard Donner cut is once he gives up his powers, he has a human suit on, but in the original theatrical one, he had a Superman suit on. It's kind of flipped. In this one, Superman is wearing a regular suit, and Lois is wearing Superman's big Superman shirt, which was pretty funny. So yeah, and with him wearing that suit, you literally see that he now wants to be a human. So yeah, and all the actors still do an amazing job, and some of the characters in the original one have more to do. Like Lex Luthor, he was just a side villain, but in this one he actually has a lot more to do, especially due to the runtime. Which the runtime for this one is a bit shorter than the original theatrical one because they cut out so much stuff from the original theatrical one. So yeah. So yeah, the soundtrack too is the same from the original theatrical one, but uses some very cool new pieces like when Superman gives up his powers. That's a new score, and it was really cool. So anything else? Oh yeah, when Superman gets his powers back, there's also really cool score to it too. So let me think. Anything else that improved on the score? Let me see. Let me think. Let me think. So, oh yeah, and also in the end in the very end Superman and Lois like have a moment together and like they have like a moment before like the movie ends like they kiss each other and like the music to that scene is amazing. So so yeah, and the pacing too is much faster than the original theatrical one it was. Yeah, so like the action is really cool too. The action is the same as the original one, but with like better effects in it. Let me think if there's any new action scene in here. What's there? Let me think. Oh yeah, and also um Lois Lane like finding out that that Clark is Superman is really cool too, and like she falls in the original cut she falls off the river in the Niagara Falls, but in this one she falls off the building, and then it's like a cool action sequence with like Clark like trying to prove that he's not Superman. And so like that whole scene when she falls off the Daily Planet building, like she ends up getting saved because like Clark speed runs down the building and like saves her by like using like the soft like using this like soft bed thing and bouncing her and then like making her land on like this fruit cell. So yeah, so let me think. Yeah, so like was there any other new action sequences? Let me think. Mm, other than no, other than that, yeah. So like all the action sequences are the same. I think. Yeah. There's more action sequences, but it requires spoilers. So I'm gonna try to stay away from spoilers. So I don't have to be honest, I have no flaws with the Richard Donner cut at all. And yeah. So let me think. So I'm gonna tell you all like new scenes added in here that I really liked. So later on later on when after Lois Lane falls off the building later on in the movie she's still suspicious that Clark is Superman, and like she ends up the way she finds out that Clark is Superman is cool too, is cooler than the original one because like she has a gun, she has a pistol, she shoots at Clark, and then like she sees that like nothing happened to him, he didn't die or anything, and then she's like, "You are Superman." And then he takes off his glasses and he shows her that he is Superman. And then he's like, "If you had been wrong, Clark Kent would have been killed." And she was like, "With a blank? Gotcha." That part was fun. That part was really cool. That you realized that he didn't really shoot him. It was a blank. So, any other cool scenes I like in it? New ones. Let me see. Let me see. Let me think. Oh yeah. So oh yeah. So like Jor-El like with his holograms like talking to him is really cool. And also the way the movie ends too is much different than how the original theatrical cut ended. The way it ends is really cool too. It mostly it kind of has the same ending to the first movie, but ri- but like but it's necessary though. It's very necessary. And I won't spoil it. Let me think. Oh yeah, and the villains too like have more to do. Like General Zod and all of them, they do a bit more, and like you see like they have more darkness into them. like there's this one scene that I was telling you about in the theatrical cut review where like they go in the White House and they're like destroying all the people in there. And in the Richard Donner cut, there's a scene where General Zod takes a gun from one of them and like and starts like using it to shoot at all the humans with a smile on his face, which was really cool. So let me think. Sorry for picking my nose. I was just itching. Let me think. Anything else? Any other new scenes? Let me think. Oh yeah. In the theatrical cut, when Superman got his powers back, you didn't see how he got his powers back. You just saw that he went back to the Fortress of Solitude and he was calling for his father, but he wasn't responding. And then like he picks up the green crystal that he got that called him in the first one. And then you just see that, and it cuts to a different scene. But in here, you see a lot more. Like you see him pick up the green crystal, and it continues and continues, and it's really cool how he gets his powers back. His father, like literally, like comes to life, and he's not a hologram anymore. You literally see him like as he was in Superman the movie, like a full human in shape, and he touches his son and gives him back his power. So, any other new scenes added? Let me think. Let me think. Other than that, I think that's most of the new scenes added. So yeah. So as far as rating goes, I think I'll give Superman 2 the Richard Donner cut an A plus, the highest rating. Um, yeah. I got no problems with it. It's actually my favorite out of all the Superman movies, to be honest. Yeah, that's my review for Superman 2: The Richard Donner Cut, A plus. I highly recommend you watch it. So yeah, so bye and see you all in the next video.